Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Najwa Izzati, matrix number A144220. I'm here today to present to you about the ways to prevent flash flood in Kajang from occurring. From my observation, there are three aspects in the ways to prevent the flash flood in Kajang, which is the general, government and engineering aspect. Okay, for the first one, for the general aspect, we must stop littering. Littering can cause the rubbish to stuck to the culvert. The culvert is the drainage pipe. So when it's raining, the rainwater will rise easily and eventually the flash flood will occur. The second one, we have to preserve the forest. Minimizing the activity of logging and deforestation is a must because forests act as a rainwater catchment, and when it is lost, the rainwater will rush down quickly from the elevated zones to the river and causes an unusual amount of rain in the river, eventually causes the flash flood. Okay, now we look at the government aspect. The first one, the government should build a embankment along the river to prevent the rising rainwater flooded the low-lying areas. And from my research, the main causes of flash flood in Kajang in 2nd December 2011 was that the incomplete construction of retention wall and flood wall along Sungai Jelok. The second one, the alam flora have to take action. From my research, one of the residents in Kajang stated that she rarely see alam flora to clean up the drains near the town area and main housing area. So alam flora should be cleaning up the clogged drains near the town area and main housing area. And the last one, the Kajang Municipal Council should upgrade the drainage system. The residents had complained about this matter through NTV7 News. They said that the rubbish is uncollected, the drain is not cleared, and the garbage bin is not provided. So the local authorities should do something about it. Okay. The last aspect in ways to prevent the flash flood in Kajang was the engineering aspect. The first one, we can build flood control dams. These dams was constructed to protect the downstream areas in the dams. And the second one, the storage ponds of flood attenuation can be made. These ponds, the objective is to divert the flood water through such ponds, thus the large amount of the water can be controlled, and so that the flood peak are weakening. This method had been used in Kuala Lumpur, from which the flood water been diverted away from Sungai Keroh to Batu Point and Sungai Keroh to Jinjang Point and Sungai Gombak to Batu Point. The third one is flood diversion channel or tunnel. Besides we diverted the water to the point, we can also divert the flood water to the flood diversion channel or tunnel. For example, the Smart Tunnel in Kuala Lumpur, which stands for Stormwater Management and Road Tunnel. The fourth one, we can deepening and widening the river. This might also help in prevention of flash flood. However, the deepening and widening river must be uniform throughout, so that the water will drain faster away from the affected area. The next one is man-made lake. The lake can retain the water in a rate of predetermined, and is also able to control the rainwater from overloading in a long time period. And the last one is man-made freshwater swamps. Man-made freshwater swamps is better than man-made lake because of its ability to fill up more water and a variety of plants surrounding it, making the water quality improve. Putrajaya had performed this method which at the Taman wetlands to control the quantity of the water. Thank you. Next one, pass up to Wan Yin. The story about data analysis.
A very good evening to Doctor. My name is Liu Wan-Ying. I would like to present the data analysis based on the surveying that we have. First of all, you can see that The data analysis is actually we conducted among not only the UCAM students but some of the residents in Kajang as well. Besides that, the data analysis is actually only based on 22 respondents. However, the respondents is still, the survey is still conducting, and which is no deadlines because our data is obtained through the distributions of questionnaires by googles.com, which is more environmental friendly using less papers. You can see that among 22 of the respondents, the majority of them are males, which is consists of 55%, and the rest is 45% females. Let's proceed to the races. We can see that the majority of the races are Malays. It follows by the Chinese, which holds 36%, and Indians 14%, and 5% of the others which is some Punjabis, and due to the the majorities of races are Malay, so we can see that also 45% of the religions are Islam, and followed by Buddhist 32%, 14% of Hindu, and we have 9% of Christians. The first question that we asked about the respondents is, have you experienced any floods before? We were surprising with because a majority of them, about 67%, say yes, they experienced the flood before, while only a majority of them is 33% do not experience any floods. And next we asked about how many times that the respondents experience floods. Due to they have majority of them experience floods, we can see although they experience floods before, but only seldom of them always experience floods. Only 5% of them experience floods frequently, and 33% of them, which is coincident with never experienced flood, is 33%. We do ask about the opinions regarding the previous flooding in Kajang. The students and the residents feel that the flooding in Kajang is only bad, it's not that worse yet. Only 19% of them feel the flooding in Kajang is worse. It proceeds to 14% of them do not have any ideas on the flooding in Kajang, and only 10% feel that the flooding is moderate. And we wanted to get to know how the respondents know the news regarding the flash flood in Kajang. We can see that during the cyber world today, mostly of them get the news through the internet, which is more faster and more consistent, which 38% of them feel that they get the news regarding the flash flood in Kajang through the internet. We have 14%, which is both 14% respectively, get the news from friends and newspapers. 24% of them get their own experience, and they experience before the flash flood in Kajang and see through their bad eyes. And only 10% of them get the news through their families. And we asked also why they think that flash flood occurs in Kajang. We can see that the half of it feel that the major factors that affects the flash flood in Kajang is the clogged drains. Maybe I asked through them, maybe they said the drains in the Kajang is not very wide, and is filled of those sedimentations particles, and we proceed to 90% of them feel the riverbank is too narrow, and due to the dumping of those rubbish, the riverbank is getting more shallower and shallower, so the water is more easily flow through while they're having a downpour. We found that 14% respectively is narrow of riverbanks, and next is uncontrollable development of Kajang. You can see that nowadays the Kajang there's a rapid development of building houses due to the developments of fastest development like this. We can see that the improper management of the drainage system will be one of the major causes the flash flood occurs in Kajang, and the developers are very likely to dump the sedimentations particles into the river and also fill up the drainage system. Next, we do ask, in their opinions, what is the effects of the flash floods. We can see that majority of them, 41%, they feel that the flash flood affects them, that they have lost a lot of properties, and 33% causes pollution. Pollution means that after the flash floods, there are lots of muds, and it pollutes the pollutes the roads and the shops also. They need a long time to clean it, and 18% feel that some of them has lost their life, maybe their pets or maybe their family members also. 14% of it feel the damage of constructed buildings because some of the bridges is damaged or even their shop is some of the structure is damaged. Only 4% is others. Others means that they feel that all of the above was the effects of the flash floods. Next, we pass to the parties that should hold the responsibilities of the disasters. 55% feel that it's a responsibilities of the Department of Irrigations and Drainage, which is known as JPS. They should conduct it and they should survey the drainage system and the river more frequently so that the flash flood could not be happen again. Next, proceeds to the city council, which is known as MP Kajang. They should responsibilities to the cleansings of the rivers and those drainage systems so that we can prevent the flash floods to happen. It proceeds to the citizens, which holds 14%, and which the hawker centers, the hawkers and the citizens should not dump the rubbish easily into the river so that the water can be flow more easily in besides the obstructions occurs. And 4% is the city developers should be holds the responsibility for the disaster, and 4% is all the above should be holds the responsibility for these disasters. Next, we were talking about the preventions and steps to be taken in order to avoid the flash flood being occurs in Kajang. You can see that half of them feel that the cleansing duty should often be carried out to prevent the sedimentation and obstructed in rivers. Maybe some campaigns should be carried out in order to can get a cleaning environments. Besides that, 38% is planning to be a better flood mitigation projects. Maybe we can say that previously the causes is the lower bridge. We can build a higher flooding walls. And next is fines should be imposed to those who dump unwanted material into the river. Law and regulations to be restricted in order to those who dump the rubbish into the rivers. And none of them feel the education and seminar is works for the prevention and steps to avoid the flash flood to be occurs. Thank you very much for our presentation. Next, we proceed to the conclusions of which are conducted by my friends. Thank you.
Okay, as a conclusion, according to the survey that we have made, the first one is the flash flood in Kajang was considered bad for the past decade. The secondly is most of the respondents aware of this tragedy through the internet. Next, the main causes of this problem is clogging of drains. Next, the major effect of flash flood is loss of precious property. Most of the respondents think the Department of Irrigation and Drainage is a major party who should be responsible. Lastly, to overcome this tragedy from recurring, everybody should participate in the cleaning duty that have to be carried out to prevent the sedimentation of obstructor in the river.